Oh, welcome to the Redmen TV. It's Arsenal, it's Liverpool, it's the Starting 11 prediction show, it's Emery, it's Klopp, it's their world-class attack versus our world-class defence. Yes, it's our world-class attack versus their defence. And I'm here, as always, to bring you what I think Jurgen Klopp, what team he is going to put out against Arsenal at the Emirates this weekend, this Saturday. Cannot wait for this one, so we'll get started. The goalkeeper is the goalkeeper, of course it's Alisson. He's conceded 4 goals in his 10 Premier League appearances so far. I'm going to whiz through the team. At right back, I think it's going to be Joe Gomez. And you can see here he's made 8 appearances, 1 substitute appearances, 6.61 defensive duels per 90, 5.6 interceptions per 90. At centre-back, I think it's going to be Dejan Lovren. And paired with Dejan Lovren, actually, I think it's going to be Virgil van Dijk. At left back, I think it's going to be, oh man, of course it's going to be Andy Robertson, who's got 2 assists so far this season. Now, I'll talk a little bit more about the team and why I've picked the team when we get to the full screen graphic this week. But in defensive midfield, I think it might be Wijnaldum on his own in a 4-3-3 formation. And you can see here, 53 passes per 90, completing 94.3% of them. He's winning 4.57 defensive duels per 90 as well, and he's intercepting the ball 4 times per 90. Ahead of him, controversially, I've actually picked the Brazilian Fabinho, who's only made 1 appearance and 1 substitute appearance so far, but he's making 9.5 interceptions per 90. 8.25 defensive duels per 90, winning 45% of them, and he's got a pass completion of 91%. Alongside Fabinho, I think it's another start for the man, the ageless James Milner there, who has played 10 games, 7 starts, 3 substitute appearances, 2 assists, 4.91 interceptions per 90. Ahead of them, I think it's going to be the front 3, as we know the front 3. So it's going to be Mo Salah, who's got 5 in 10. That's 1 in 2, plus his 2 assists. On the left-hand side, it's going to be Sadio Mane for me. And you can see again, he's made 9 appearances, he's got 6 goals in his 9 appearances so far, completing 67.5% of his 4.65 dribbles per 90. And up top, in his more familiar number 9 role, Roberto Firmino, who's played in all 10. He's got 2 goals, 2 assists, and this might be the game where we see Roberto Firmino from last season. So we'll bring the full screen graphic on now. And listen, I think a lot of people will be looking at this, right, and they'll be going, well, first of all, let's talk about Gomez and let's talk about Dejan Lovren there, because, you know, Trent Alexander-Arnold, maybe a lot of people will want to see Trent Alexander-Arnold with Joe Gomez in for Dejan Lovren, but I think we'll just play a little bit more pragmatic, and we're going back to the 4-3-3 in my head to sort of try and hit Arsenal on the transition, on the break, counter-attack, gegenpress them, and this is the formation that these lads are used to. Now, I don't think Jordan Henderson's going to make it, but I'll talk a little bit why I want Gomez and why I think he'll go with Gomez is because Aubameyang tends to come off that side, and Trent, with his ability, good defender, of course he's a great defender and he's good going forward. I don't think we lose too much for putting Gomez on there, but I feel like we're going to attack mostly down this left hand side with maybe James Milner and Sadio Mane, and that's how we're going to look to attack them. We're going to try and hit this space down here if Granit Xhaka is going to be playing left back, certainly with your Mo Salah. The midfield battle, I think with these 2 midfielders we can win. They've obviously got the red card from Guendouzi and they've got a few injuries. Will Monreal play? Will Xhaka go into the middle, or is Monreal not going to make it? And will he play left back, in which case Salah's going to hopefully have a field day there. I think these 3 lads will drop into sort of a back 3 almost as Robertson moves on through the pitch. And that's why I think we're going to be looking at this back 4. The reason that I've picked Wijnaldum in the 6 over Fabinho is I think Fabinho, although they've played together in the 2-man midfield, which I love, and I actually would like to see us play that 2-man midfield as well, in a 4-2-3-1. The reason I think he's going to go with the 4-3-3 is because of this man here, James Milner. And the reason I've picked Fabinho in the 8 rather than Wijnaldum is because he makes more progressive passes. He likes to hit the ball forwards a little bit more. You've got someone like Gini Wijnaldum who'll move the ball side to side a little bit more than someone like a Fabinho. And I think he's more box to box than people give him credit for. Although it wouldn't surprise me if this was the 11, if I was to get it right, if those 2 were switched. I've gone out on a limb here and I've decided to put Fabinho there instead of Wijnaldum. It's not something we've seen before. It's probably not something that's very likely, in all honesty. And then the front 3, they're going to play it out from the back. That's what Emery wants to do. That's what this Arsenal side are good at, or getting better at, I should say. And these three are the guys who are going to go out there, going to press them, going to harry them, going to try and win the ball back, and then we're going to try and score on the break. And I think he'll go 4-3-3 because I think it's more pragmatic. We'll sit a little bit deeper, we'll drop in, and then bang, hit them on the break. That's how I think Liverpool are going to set up. Leave me some of your thoughts in the comments section below. Tom, if you could, mate, let's get into some of these comments.
Rival Red says, I've got Shaqiri in ahead of Milner.
Okay. Shaqiri in ahead of Milner. And would that be in the 4-3-3? If that's the case, that is an interesting one. We've seen Shaqiri in there. I'm not sure whether... I just feel like James Milner deserves a start. And I do feel like Shaqiri deserves a start. If you watched the build-up show yesterday, it's obviously still available, it's on demand. I actually had Shaqiri playing like here in the 4-2-3-1 with Firmino here, Salah up top, Wijnaldum and Fabinho holding. And that's where I felt he if he's to be used, I think he'll be used on the right-hand side. But it's an interesting shout. It's not one I'd considered for the Arsenal game. So thanks for that one. Let's go.
Liam M says, Genie needs a break soon.
He needs a break soon.
Yeah, so he's saying get him out.
Wow, it's a big game to take Genie Wijnaldum out. It'd be interesting to see if he does do something like that. Are you thinking maybe drop Fabinho back in, bring someone like an Adam Lallana in? I think, we've had a week. That's the key point here. We haven't had to even just had our training interrupted by having a League Cup game. Even if we were to play the squad players, it does interrupt your week. You've got to remember that. I mean, Arsenal obviously made changes for their tough game midweek where they only just got through by 2-1, wasn't it? But you look at that and you think the training is going to be building up for that game. And the coaches are going to be building up for that game, which means they've only got a couple of days actually to prepare for the Liverpool game. Whereas Liverpool have had all week. Genie Wijnaldum, that's a good rest for a professional footballer, especially a professional footballer at Liverpool's level, where you are sort of used to those Champions League, Champions League, Cup, League type of fixture lists. So I maybe disagree with you slightly on that one, but I get your point, and I think down the line, it's probably somebody who will be taken out of the limelight a little bit. Ben Archer says, Chris, can't believe Chris hasn't gone for a 4-2-3-1. Perhaps he didn't want to get an erection live on air. That may or may not be the reason, Ben. Thank you for your comment. Paul McKay, not Henderson, he is shit. No, yeah, you're right, not Henderson, but I disagree that he's shit. Klopp doesn't trust Fabinho in big games. Could he play Milner, Wijnaldum and Shaqiri in a 4-2-3-1, says Tom Rotherham Music. And I said asks Tom. Funny, me and Christian Walsh, the sports audience editor at the Liverpool Echo, and I'd just done a podcast with him an hour long on the redmentv.com today, and I asked him about Milner and specifically about that 4-2-3-1 because my thoughts on it were that I don't like Milner in a 2. And he's actually almost, and Christian said this, not me, he's almost the odd man out in a 4-2-3-1 because you're not going to play him in that attacking role. But I don't feel like when he played that two-man pivot under Rodgers, he was particularly good in that role either. And then he was obviously shifted down to left-back and then brought back into midfield. But he excels in a three-man midfield, does James Milner. And for me, I'm not saying he can't do it because I don't know. I would never try and limit James Milner because everything that he's done really, really well. But from my memory, he wasn't particularly good in that 4-2-3-1.
I've got an interesting one here. Ethan Anstey says Gomez will cover Aubameyang better from the centre like he did versus Neymar, Moura, Zaha, Hazard and the rest.
You know what, you could well be right, but I stand by my prediction that Gomez and Lovren both start this game. And that's what it is. It is a prediction. And to be honest, I actually agree with it. I don't think we lose anything for putting Joe Gomez on the right-hand side as opposed to Trent. You might just decide to attack a little bit more down the left-hand side, but I don't feel like Trent's been at the level that he was at last season. And the games when Gomez has either been shifted or started on the right-hand side, we've looked solid. And Steele posed this on the build-up show. There's a question mark of whether Klopp thinks that's the best defence that we've got. Because in the big games so far, that's the defence that he's chosen. Now, me and you might not agree with that. I'd rather see Gomez in a centre-half. But for this game, I actually do agree with it. I think 90-95% of the games, I'd rather see Van Dijk, Robertson, obviously, Joe Gomez and Trent Alexander-Arnold. But in the big games, I kind of like the pragmatism that goes with maybe putting your three centre-halves in there and saying, listen, Lacazette, Aubameyang, Ozil. If you're gonna beat us, you're gonna have to get through three solid defenders. It's not about what Joe Gomez can do in this position or this position. It's about, can Joe Gomez defend slightly better than Trent? And I think in that instance, yes, he can. And the fact that he covers inside anyway, because he's a centre-back, he'll know the dangers. And if Lovren misses something, I think he'll be there to pick up the pieces. But it was an interesting one, like. Chris, did you see Lovren on Copper 90? No, Mark, I didn't. Robbo, fresh and ready to go, said Shiv Lakhani. That's right, isn't it? And I said this a couple of weeks ago. I wonder whether Liverpool play better when Robertson plays better. And we rested him. He had a good game against Red Star. We obviously rested him at the weekend, against Cardiff. Robertson coming back in with a week and a half. Yeah, I like the sound of that, to be honest with you. And hopefully he'll get back up there and get another assist or two this weekend. Victor Chong, Lovren, best player. Is that what he's spouting again, that he's the best player in the world, Tom? I saw something about him saying something about he makes fewer mistakes than Ramos. I
don't know.
Zip it.
Mr. Feed said, says, considering Arsenal's shaky defence, I can't wait to see what our front three could possibly do. We're clicking.
Mate, exactly. That's it, isn't it? And I've got a lot of time for what Arsenal have done historically, certainly over the last 20 years under Wenger. But right now, I'm still unsure whether they're good or not, and that's why I want Liverpool to pit themselves against it. That's why I'm looking forward to this game more than probably past meetings with Arsenal, because yes, they've got that great attack. Yes, the defence isn't so good. Where are they? Are they the same Arsenal that beat teams below them and struggle in the fight with the top six sides, or are they better than that? And I think when we played Chelsea, I realised Chelsea were better than I gave them credit for. There's nothing like going against your rival to find out how good you are comparatively to them. And for me, our front three is better than their defence. And it'll be interesting to see whether Emery recognises that, changes the game plan slightly, or whether he goes out and Arsenal do what they always do, which is play their own brand of football in their own stadium and throw caution to the wind a touch. And, you know, if that's the case, I think it will play into our hands. But you know what? Here's the crux of it. Aubameyang, Ozil, Lacazette. These players are world-class footballers. And world-class footballers can change games without the system. You know what I mean? And Arsenal can win games of football, certainly at the Emirates against Liverpool. They've done it so many times over the years. It's a tough place for Liverpool to go to. We probably didn't deserve to draw last season, but we did. Now we're playing a different Liverpool side. We're a different Liverpool side, and they're a different Arsenal side. And right now there's a gulf between us, I think. I could be wrong on that. And even if there is a gulf between us, that's not to say that Arsenal can't beat us on any given Saturday evening, if you know what I mean. So there we go. That's my starting 11. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video, please. Just do it now. Just like the video. It really does help us out. It helps the algorithm. For the algorithm. Tom, thanks for reading the comments out and getting this all sorted as per usual. Thanks for subscribing to the Redmen TV, and I will see you next time.